Hello everyone, welcome to another past life travel reading here. This week we're going to focus in on a time when you had a similar kind of relationship issue. Could be with, relationship with food, relationship with your health, relationship with other people or a specific person. So kind of all encompassing in terms of relationships. So we'll see kind of what card here you're drawn to. They all have different patterns on the back, so I didn't bother to flip them over. We'll flip them over once we get into your trip here into the past lives. To see if there's anything else I need to babble on about while you pick your card. I don't think so, so pause the video if you need to. But if you're ready, you can either jump ahead using the timestamps below to your trip here. Otherwise, we'll start with group number 1, past life travel number 1. And I'll just move these down here to the lower level so I don't forget what order they're in. And let's get the charts. Oops. Ooh, good handful here. So we'll see. See as we charge up and tune into your specific soul energies. Your angels come down, and we'll see here where they're gonna kind of take us all. Oh, we got some more movement here. Okay. Oh, movement up here. Okay, that one rolled. Don't worry, I will clean up. And I'm usually more talkative. I usually have more to say, but maybe because it's the first trip here, I might be focusing on the travel. I'm just gonna come back over here. I feel like there's more up here. Okay. So now we'll do the cleanup. See what they're discarding here. Okay, that one just wants to go on the colors. Okay, your deck of cards. So now let's see what is some additional information and insights. I'll get a sense of what relationship issue you're coming to get some support with by you tapping into your past life when you faced it before. Maybe you didn't conquer it, but you could learn from not doing so good the first time around, right? Every chance is the next lesson learned, right? Next opportunity to change the iteration, try again. Just kind of seeing what cards here. Oh, they want me to push a bit. Okay. I feel like we have about 2 more here. Just not sure where they want to go. Okay. I'm just gonna peek at the camera. Okay, I think we're all on screen and we got time. So let me just take the timestamp here for group 1 as we, or I guess I kind of tune in. All right, so about 5 minutes here. Oh, 5 minutes it took to do a trip. How many years into the past here? How many decades into the past? Kind of like light travel, right? 5 minutes for us is X number of centuries. Okay. Starting with your main card here that drew you all in to this past life, kind of what relationship issue is connecting you all. Kind of ignoring the water here at first, and they're drawing me into the lush greenery, which for me, when there's abundance of beautiful vegetation, as well as some kind of nice pool of water here, is wealth. So relationship with money, and it could be impacting your relationship with another. But I feel more strongly your relationship with wealth here, because the sense of like the wastefulness, right? She's pouring it just off to the side here instead of adding it to the pool. So maybe wasteful energy with money, and that's kind of been your story or your issue, or a sensation of not enough. Always trying to play catch up, right? Where's this extra source coming from? You're always kind of trying to replenish the pool. Okay. And then the star is really prominent, and for me, stars are a wish coming true. So I wonder if all of you have been kind of pulled here together, having a more positive financial story, maybe like a wish come true. And I'm separating because as I'm talking about wish, they're bringing me to my good luck charm here. Good favor, good luck. So we'll kind of pair it that way. Okay, let's see if we can get... Okay, well, I was going to ask for timing, and we have the angel lightning bolt here, pointing to the Middle Ages. To see if there's anything else that also connected to, well, this is present, so battle, war. Well, Middle Ages had rife with territory fights, right? Battles. Okay. So we're going to come down here to the Middle Ages. We're going to lean with that. And it's connecting the 9 muses to the Middle Ages. So that's the arts, right? The 9 muses are for creative writing, so communication, like painting, sculpture, all that kind of creative expression. So expression. And it's not lost on me that up here we have languages, words, which is connected to wealth, health and wealth, and emotions. So your words around your wealth story right now, positive affirmations. And it ties to the 9 muses here. And since they're pointing at the Middle Ages, which was, a time of struggle, a time of revolution, right? The 9 muses are all about inspiration. So maybe they're trying to inspire you on where this revenue, this extra revenue can be coming from, inspire you to hang on to your dream, right? And show you the path to get there. It is sitting in a beautiful horseshoe as well, which is also good luck, good favor. So we do have some good favor coming here. So maybe in this past lifetime, you were successful. So let's get some tips here on how you were, so you can improve your relationship here with finances, or even with yourself it's emotions. So if your language in your words is like self depreciating, right? You're shaming yourself, feeling guilty, kind of getting out of that energy. Just seeing here, because I've kind of popped across the chart here, so I want to see if there's any other charms that kind of want to all come together here. So down here on wisdom, or the oracle fountains, but mostly wisdom, we have passion and a darker hue. So that's sort of where your heart's desire is sitting. And it's sitting on controlled fire as well. And there's a distance here. So closing the gap, right? Getting a handle over finances. So controlling the fire. So if you always feel like you're paying out to others, you're getting that under control, or you have the ability to. So it could just be filtering through subscriptions. You know, sometimes we have to check our bank statements. Here in Canada, we have Bank of Montreal, and I believe they have a commercial right now where like someone who bought somebody else's house shows up with a truckload of diapers because they forgot to cancel their diaper subscription for years, right? So that's just money kind of being wasted, right? Wasteful money because we didn't cancel it. So there's a closing of the gap here in the financial fire that you probably feel yourself under. So that could just be, like I said, kind of clearing any debt. And some deep wisdom, again, the deep blue hue here. And you're closing the gap on your knowledge, right? Your words and wisdom, the muses, inspiration. So you're already on a path of like learning here, I think, in your current waking life. So it's interesting that it's still kind of sitting on your mind. Maybe you're in that final kind of 20% push at the end that always feels the hardest. And I do say that because my foundation charm here does have that hole in it, right? A hole in the bucket, the slightly leaky bucket here. But the hole for me also is clarity and knowledge. And you have wisdom in closing that gap. And it's not going to take long. Like one single stone could fill that in, and you have a solid foundation. And it's sitting on words. So again, in order for a healthier relationship with finances, just be cognizant of your words, how you're thinking, how you're going about things, because it seems like you're doing a good job here. Something inspired you to change your way, because you are closing the gap, or you're about to. Maybe this reading is about to, or we're gonna see how you kind of redirected yourself here. So I'm going to come here as the last charm in this grouping. Interesting, it's sitting on stone art, and with the Middle Ages, you know, stone hedge comes to mind. We have the 9 muses, and I said sculpting, sculptures, and it was also sitting on a dominating figure here. And my sunflower charm is all about a long period of sort of absence or not much abundance, right? It's kind of a skinny stalk, but then it turns into this beautiful large flower at the top, which is nice and bright and yellow, shining. So after a long period of either waiting for news, a long period of putting in the effort, so less savings and more paying down debt, right? Closing the gap. Also with the stone art and the dominating figure here tied together. So stone is solid, right? It's a tough go at it. Dominating figure pushing up, right? Revolution, I had mentioned already with the Middle Ages. So kind of you having to push against, you know, boulders. I'm getting the scene there where you have to push the boulder up the hill, right? That might be the feeling, the sensation, the lived experience, but there's that shining star at the end. There's this beautiful sunflower. And also this charm's all about a new start that's coming about, right? A new turn of fate, new turn of the wheel of fate, the wheel of fortune, I'll say, because it's a wealth issue. So I feel like you've pushed any kind of authoritative figure out of the way. You have pushed your final stone boulder out of the way, because we're already on the sunflower here. We're already on a beautiful new start here. So let's go up to these cards. Let's see how these cards pair. Oh yeah, look at that. All right, look at the story they're showing you. I feel like this is both present life and this past life. You know, you made some decisions that, you know, closed the door. So that could be the canceling of subscriptions, trimming the fat, changing jobs, whatever it is. So you made some decisions that were good for you, right? You're resting. Your hands are in the gratitude position. Losing my words here. Talk about words. And it's gilded in gold, right? And look at this fresh start. Just beneath you, right? Closing the gap. Fresh start. The Fool, all about taking that leap of faith. Here's our new start. Here's our, right? You got a bag ready to go. You got your flower. You got your angelic companion. And I was talking about like the last 20% push, or probably like the last 5% push here. I do think you're closer to this situation already in present day than you realize. And maybe because in your past life, this is a relationship that you already conquered. You know, maybe the Middle Ages was the time that you conquered it. And that's why intuitively, you've already been kind of closing the gap here. You've already been building a solid foundation for you. This, like I said, you pushed these delays, these blockages, right? These walls. You've already pushed them out of the way. You already have this fresh start. Lightning's already struck you here. I wonder what your inspiration was. I mean, your inspiration could have been simply the emotion of I've had enough. I'm done with this. Okay, let's see how we want to go next here. So that's where you're at now, and that's where you were at back then as well. So same story, same success here. Okay. So I'm going to come to the sword here, which is my sign for legacy, establishing, like writing your story. And I know we're here in a past life, kind of checking in on your soul story, your life's journeys. In terms of your wealth story, I feel like I've been saying, you're rewriting it. This is a new story, and it was pointing towards Black Death. Right, and the Black Death at this period was both very devastating in terms of how swiftly it happened, the approach that was taken, right? People and families had to be boarded up and isolated. So maybe that's what you've been feeling, or that's one of the decisions you made. You kind of just isolated yourself to really focus in on this. And then, of course, we all know that death is a change, right? You're closing off and starting fresh. And it is pointing towards our now with this 100 Years' War, which means just battling. I think definitely back in this time period, the Middle Ages, you know, the boulders, the authority, you know, the things you had to move out of your way was probably the constant warring in your territory, in your region. You were probably always impacted by drafting to war or people coming through, or maybe, I don't know how soldiers and stuff acted back then, but I think pretty much they had free reign. Like they could just kind of come in and take what they needed to continue fighting for your country. But you know, you just have to give in, right? You just have to keep giving, and you're trying to squirrel away here. So you're repeating this story now. Opportunity to change it. Change it again. Just seeing if anything down here is paired with those. Doesn't feel like it, so. Oh, well, look at that. I was just talking about the change, right? So they gave you both the Death and the Tower. So significant change, and then you're stepping out into this beautiful gold, abundance, opulence. You're coming out of isolation. You're showing off everything you made, right? Like the muses. Who knows? In the Middle Ages, maybe this was your task. Maybe you built weaponry. But for me, anytime I see sort of two kind of uprights like this, it's again a decision. But you're ahead of it. You've already walked through it. It's already kind of back there. You're already on this brighter, better, yellow brick road kind of path. You know, you probably have already been very successful in changing your headspace, your approach, your feelings towards yourself and your finances. I also get the feeling like the war is over, right? This is kind of like that lightning bolt, the final strike. Change happens, right? The lightning bolt. So your inspiration, bam, I know what to do, and you took action. And you're headed in the right place. This is your sunflower, right? Your new legacy. Happening now. You're in it now. I keep looking at the clock here every time I say now, but they don't want me to associate them. So I won't. So we have the start of the records. They're making me ignore the timestamp because we are sitting here in the Middle Ages. But in this time period, the Egyptian hieroglyphs were the sort of beginning of record keeping. And we have language and words, right? We also have records, memory, I think it says. Yeah, records, memory. So we've got records, language, you know, good favor. So, you know, not being afraid to open up that bank statement, get an accounting book started for yourself, any kind of journaling, tracking of your money. You know, just planning and awareness seems to have grown with you here in the record keeping, the tracking. Good favor. And if you're tracking again, we're coming back to tracking. I kept saying like ending of subscriptions. So maybe for some of you, you got to kind of dig in here and see where your money's going, and change what is kind of still drawing down from you that you're not using, right? It could be a minimal fee. Maybe it's like a $5 monthly charge that you're like, whatever, but you don't remember what it's connected to. Get rid of it. Keep getting rid of that. You're building up your wealth that way. Look at the celebration. Look at the angel blowing its horn here. They only play their music loudly when it's pay attention, right? Pay attention, look up. Look at the great things that you're doing. In terms of the record keeping here, right? In this past life, bringing me back to the past life here, I feel like this would be when the tax collector would come around. I don't know if I feel like they would like ring a bell. I'm not a historian, but I feel like I hear like either a loud kind of thick handbell, or maybe they're ringing like a cowbell, but they're kind of coming through to let people know the collector's in town. So, you know, get your coins ready, right, to pay out to them. But then in this lifetime, now, it's more of a celebration. Look what you're doing. You know, you're not paying to the debt collector here anymore. There's a change in favor. So a change about from paying and owing to the debt collectors here, right? Our subscriptions, our credit cards, whatever it might be. And it's flipping, it's changing to celebrating you and everything that you're doing correctly here. The change of fate, changing your wealth story. Okay. So down here, so the transformation sitting on Western medicine, herbs. So this is like acupuncture, you know, natural remedies, you know, affirmations kind of fit in that space, Reiki, anything that is not the prescribed, right, chemical prescribed, pharma prescribed route. So for me, this is natural. So this transformation for you, this change, this overcoming your wealth relationship issues is a natural growth for you. It's naturally happening, right? You were inspired. A muse came down and encouraged you. Your angel came down and encouraged you. Your intuition is guiding you here. So you're kind of doing this on your own. It's kind of that isolation again, that independence I'm getting. But it's a natural evolution that you're picking up here. And sitting on the triad of colors, so we have purple intuition, blue emotion, sort of this light gold, which is favorable, but also creativity, strategy, intelligence. And you're setting your own pace here with my pendulum, kind of like our legacy, creating your own story. You're doing it at your own pace. It's a natural growth. Don't be hard on yourself. You're gonna overcome it. You're on the right path. You've almost completed it. You're almost done. There's so much good luck and good favor here. Yeah, look at you. You know, master of your world, sitting confidently in a solid, stable foundation that you made for yourself. But look at the world in your hand, and again, the choices you're making, right? Look at these choices you're making. Almost every card I can see these positive choices, like what's next. And look at the abundance you're building out here. Your village, right? You created your castle, you got your solid foundation, and now you're starting to give out to the community here, right? What's next? Where do I go to next in the world? Where do I help next? I've helped myself. Where do I help next? Maybe that's what you don't know, is this evolution, this continuous evolution. You know, in this past life, once you got to a certain point, your surplus, your focus was back on your community, your country. So enough to give out to family, right? So your wealth story is not going to just be one of continued independence. It looks like you're going to be at your own pace, getting bigger and bigger and bigger and giving back and back and back, right? Establishing your legacy. Okay, so we're going to end off here on our megalithic buildings. And I just talked about how you built your castle, and now you're building your village. And then they land me here with you building buildings, right? Megalithic buildings means, you know, kind of like this tower. You're establishing. You're making a footprint. You're leaving something physical, tangible behind. It won't just be wealth, right? Maybe that's your big wish here, is that you will be known. Maybe that's why you have your country, your community, your family in mind. You will be known for your contribution. And it's sitting on intuition. So you know this to be true, and so do your Akashic records here, your angels. So here's the war, right? We had the constant warring here. So love and peace. So for me, this is the going from constant warring to your head and heart now at rest with each other, right? You're in the happy spot, the Fool. Being able to give back brings you love and peace. Then we have this beautiful paw print upon the heart. So I was just saying, but leaving your mark on the community, leaving your mark on the hearts of others, leaving your impact. You're going to do that. You know, you're going to have a positive, lasting impact here. And maybe that's why we're ending on the clock. We didn't start with it, we're ending on it. So this is them, your angels, shining a light. And I always see it as like a pendulum, kind of like a grandfather clock. So you're in it now. This is who you're going to become, right? You will be known. Your time has already started because it came down in this area, right? Your natural evolution, your new start, going at this beautiful pace, closing the gap. You know, lightning has struck. Time is now. You're in it now. Oh yeah, look at that. End of this cycle, I would say. If you conquer it, if you conquer your relationship with wealth, this wealth story, if you achieve your big dream of being able to give back to the community, you're not going to have a financial struggling relationship, I would say, in a future life here. This will be a soul lesson completed, right? You got the magic, it's in your hand. Your soul is now going to take that knowledge, this knowledge, forward to each life. So grand success here. Megalithic, grandiose success. And look at the complete stark difference, right? With the holding you back, all the dominating figures, all of the heavy blockades in your way. You released all those swords, right? Right away. The first cards were all you pulling out swords, taking away swords. And look at the wealth of abundance. The lush garden, all the blue water, the hills, the foundation, the legacy, right? The vines are already growing all around it. So success ahead, group 1. Success ahead, and all it's going to take is record keeping and your words, your thoughts, your words, and diligent record keeping, and you'll you'll be celebrating. You're almost there. I think you're so close. You're so close because of all these positive decisions you made. The last step is just kind of getting on top of the financial records, right? Knowing what's in and what's out. Okay, thank you. I hope you enjoyed your trip into the past. Wasn't expecting a relationship with wealth, so we'll see what the other 2 groups were about here. Okay, group number 2. Sorry, I'm just taking the note. All right, so drawn to card number 2. We'll be using your deck here for cards, but we'll get the charms first. I'm gonna see where, oh, whoa, okay. Whoa, wow. You can tell we're already in the past here. No, taking no time at all. I can feel movement, so I'm just pausing. Not sure where they're coming from. The back, maybe? Down the middle, maybe. I don't know if you guys can see. Is it on camera? Yeah, down the middle. There we go. Okay. Now we'll just continue our journey around the chart here today. I think they're trying to hit protector. That's what I think. So I'll just keep hanging out here until they hit it. Reputation, protector. There we go. Okay. We'll do another pass. I'm not really feeling any more movement, so. Okay, let's do the cleanup. As I said that, what's stuck to my finger here? Change your perspective. It's stuck to my finger, so I'll just put it here. It didn't go on the chart, so a change in perspective on this, I guess, relationship issue. Okay, let's go back to the clearing here. Oh, no, they want that there. Okay. I need to remember that this is under there. I think we're can be starting there. That's kind of the year. Okay, yeah, so we have family, family. Okay. Let's get your cards here. What is the relationship issue that we're gonna talk about and help with from this trip to the past? What happened in this other lifetime that you can draw from? Either pull some knowledge forward, pull some courage, bravery, maybe a skill. Maybe a skill will come out. Okay. So I'm going to take my timestamp for everybody that joins us now, and we'll get into it. So during the charm and card selection, our bat here stuck to my finger when I was putting the charms away. So kept him out, put him on your card. He's about a change in perspective, similar to, I guess, the Hangman card, you know. So I believe this trip to the past here regarding your relationship issue, it's going to be all about helping you change your perspective on it. I'll put it there for now so I can see it. Okay. So what is your collective issue, relationship issue here? I'm gonna say with your body, because I'm getting exercise. I feel like he's dressed and ready to play and wanting to play, but not getting out there. So it could just be body health, body wellness. But I feel like activity, like for some reason getting out and play. Maybe it's just getting out and play. Because where I believe we're going to start with the charms, which is where to focus, we have my return to playfulness charm. Return to childhood, childhood innocence, I guess is the word I'm trying to say. Your child, the energy that you had, right? Maybe you're looking back here to a body weight shape that you had 10, 20 years ago, right? Wish I still had that body. Wish my body was healthier, right? We age, our legs start to go, and we need to keep our legs strong for vitality. That's why the legs here are beautiful green in his outfit. Nice balance of intuition, emotions as well though. But kind of this return to play, return to activity, and a change in perspective regarding how you're reflecting back. So obviously we're traveling back. So we'll see if we can change your perspective here on your feeling about either exercise or just movement, or playfulness, just joy and playfulness. When was the last time you were joking and teasing and laughing? Okay, so I said we were going to start here with my focus charm, my campfire, right? The flames kind of draw us in, so we're going to travel through the flames, it looks like, for your trip to the past. And we're not going that far, actually. They're only bringing us back to the 1900s here, so as close as like the 1950s. So the first half of the 1900s, not going that far back. Returning to playfulness. I mean, for some of you, this could be your childhood, right? 1950s, my mother was born 1948. So this is just, again, the looking back to the years when we were younger, more fit, more active, less concerned, less conscious of our body, aches, pains, weight, shape, right? We learn all that through society and just health issues, right? If you're recovering, You know, he's kind of wanting to go out there and play, but maybe his ankle's bandaged up, or he just got his bandages off, so kind of slow recovery, return to full active play. So it could be that for you as well. I just want to see where they want me to go here. So next door we have fairness, and that's with your notebook here, your Akashic records. Obviously we're traveling back in the past, so they're bringing forward your notebook here. And I did say in the intro that this group might be more of a looking back to pull forward just courage and bravery, because I saw the lion, or a skill, or a talent. Just a reminder and awareness of what you already have, what you already possess, right? It's already in your notebook, so that you can get back to movement here. So fairness, balancing of the scales, right? You were meant to experience this because you're ready to experience this. You were poised, positioned. I'm just seeing what's connected here. So you have sacrifice twice. You have oh, you know what? I saw that as sacrifice. It says scientific. I wonder why I read it as sacrifice. Oh, it's sitting on scientific award, and it's walking confidently this way. So this just means sense of achievement, especially when it's talking about working out, activity, scientific numbers. So you might be staring at the scale, which is never good. You might be, counting pounds, counting muscle mass, measuring the size of a muscle. You might be on a scale measuring insulin, right? Anything like that. Anything that kind of lands into medical or fitness science. The science of the body as well, muscles and tendons and nerve systems. Even the activity here, they keep drawing me back to this ball here. So if some of you are just trying to get back out to a sport, the science of that sport. The science of the movement of the body properly, right? I'm not going to kick the ball that way again. I'm not going to swing and twist my back again that way. So proper movement as well is coming through, sort of this achievement, what's possible. And you're walking confidently towards that. And it is a walk. So this is a go at your own pace. Don't push yourself. Energy that they're giving me here. And it's sitting on the yellow-green connection. So for me, yellow is sort of angelic healing paired with your healing. So you have both angelic healing, universal healing, right? The fairness, and then your own physical healing here. And then the sacrifice is over here. I did see sacrifice. Family sacrifice is kind of connected, family burden. Sacrifice is kind of connected here with my family charm, legacy as well. So this return back, this change in perspective, maybe you put something off to raise family, or your time, right? Your time just gets monopolized by commitment, so you don't have the hour or two anymore to go pick up basketball or recreational hockey, whatever it is, whatever you were doing before. So you chose, right? We have to give and take. We have to compromise. So, you sacrifice for family here, and that's perfectly okay. You also did that back then, or you witnessed it, because I feel like this could be just childhood for a lot of us. So, in your childhood, maybe you had to sacrifice. In terms of, especially kind of back then in the 1900s, it might have been, one child got to do it in the family of, 6, 7, 8 children. So that would be family sacrifice, or you had to go to work sooner, right? So your childhood ended sooner, working at the age of 10, 11, 12. So not getting to play as much, and now you can play more. Different kind of society, modern society here. Play more. Okay, just see if anything else is connected here in the charms. We'll go to the cards. Okay, so focusing in on returning to play, active movement, some kind of tracking of numbers related to movement, stats, I guess I should say stats, but achievement, tracking to track your achievement here. Kind of looks like a hockey player here after I said kind of returning to recreational hockey or sports, right? He's got all the protection, the knee pads, the shoulder pads, the collar guard, the equipment, right? Whatever you're playing with. So, you know, maybe that's what you learned is not only is it necessary for safety, right, to mitigate against injuries, but it might also be necessary as part of your recovery, right? Maybe you're walking with crutches or canes right now. You know, maybe you have you had surgery, so you have, I'll just say like new knees or new joints, right? Maybe you have a pin or something that was put in. So just being aware of that. You know, we have the needles here as well. So anyone who's doing sort of the tracking of insulin or sugar levels or anything like that. But look how strong you are. So look how your head is starting to turn as well, right? The change in perspective from looking back to almost looking forward, right? He's not quite looking directly at you yet, but the head is starting to turn here. You're starting to change your perspective, or you already have in this lifetime, or you did in that past lifetime. You're like, no, I can still play, but I'm gonna come out to the field wearing everything, and I'm gonna be stronger this time too. More focused, stronger. You know, I recovered correctly this time. It does feel like an in and out. So if you had surgery and you're in recovery mode, it was like an in and out surgery, or this is an in and out of you returning back to this, right? Yo-yo effect with dieting and exercise. You get into it and then you get pulled out, right? Life pulls you out. Then you get back into it and life pulls you out. It's a kind of a yin-yang effect here. I wonder if it'll stand up. So kind of in and out, and that's fine. I don't see anything negative around the in and out here. Okay. I'm going to come over to the camp sign here. It's also a directional charm, and it is sitting on start of records. And we were already talking about tracking numbers here. So go ahead, you know, start your record keeping. It'll probably give you more peace of mind, to be honest, instead of looking back and saying, I used to be like this. Just track who you are now, right? Track your progress now. Go down this route. It's a healthier route when you focus on today and not yesterday, right? Focus on who you are now and not who you used to be. Paired with that, just kind of sitting out here, was the first charm that flew down and fell out, is your angel wing, and this is a yes. So for all of you that came here with a question, or maybe a question has popped up already since I'm coming to it now. So yes, you will recover. Yes, you will recover. Yes, you'll return. Yes, you'll be more successful. Yes, you'll be wiser on how you approach it. You know, yes, you will be okay. Return to play. Head this way. So what's beautiful is the sandal here with the abundance of grapes on top. So that's wealth and health. So again, favorable outcome as long as you take the positive steps forward here, right? Do things for the betterment of you, or even just taking the first step to get back to being active. But it was pointing at Olympic Games. So again, we've got this sports theme going on here. So activity, the body, just body moving. So if you are struggling with your body moving, I definitely see a very happy return to that. Olympic Games, also games. So just a return to playfulness, joy, happiness. If it's not body movement you need, you found how to be just playful again. Sitting on decline of a civilization. So this is, social circles getting smaller, right? People leaving your life, connections ending, relationships ending. And we have the apology bear here, coming in with a beautiful kind of forgiveness. But this is also friendship bear. So making new connections, right? So out with the old, in with the new. Out with the old, in with the new. Out with the old, in with the new. Even just your body, right? Out with the old, in with the new. New you, different version of you, right? The decline of the civilization could just mean like shedding your old skin, right? Coming out stronger. Yeah, I'm trying to see if these, no. Okay, so it's just those. Okay, so coming out stronger. Okay, we'll do it in the order of the names of the cards this time. For some reason, they wanted to emphasize going from princess to queen, right? Knowledge, wisdom, age, beauty with age, right? A lot of us, right? The looking back, I was getting that. My former body, my old body. Why? What's wrong with your body now? You're beautiful now. This is who you were before. This is who you are now. And you're equally as beautiful, if not more, right? Look how much more poised you are. Look how much more emotionally healthy you are. You're physically healthier as well because you're making better decisions. You're following your intuition, your years of experience, right? Your cup is full. Here you're just starting to fill it. Here you're showing it off, right? So moving from the holding yourself back, hiding back, to being on display here. So coming out, yes. You will, if you change your perspective, right, which is, I think, how you look at yourself, to be honest, right? Instead of seeing yourself as someone who can't play and seeing yourself as someone who's ready to play in the right way, seeing yourself as, I got to hide away to know I should be out there. Okay. So just sitting on the colors here, so intuition, and sort of angelic support here. So for me, this is like a divine path. You're on a positive journey here. And this is a change coming soon with my wildcat here, my cheetah. Cheetah also has the spots, right? They have their unique pattern to their coat. And they're making me bring this up because you're unique, right? Your body is unique to you. What works for someone might not work for you, and you know that. You're on the right path here in terms of listening to your body and your intuition. This is something you did in the past, right? When you were a child, you knew what you couldn't do. You pushed your body a bit to find that out, right? We all explore, we're curious. That's how we get our injuries. That's how we live and learn. That's how we know we have to put our knee pads on next time. That's how we know we need the right shoes. So our turtle here was pointing at protector, protection. I've been saying a lot of equipment here with the first card, making sure your joints are protected, whether it's inside or outside, because I said like pins, insulin, whatever you're your body kind of needs you to either give or take away or to use. If it's a walking stick, if you're out there hiking, it's fine to use a walking stick. But this is new knowledge, newfound knowledge that's going to protect you, right? Your lived experience, drawing from your childhood or your past life, if you're younger like me, so maybe we aged out in the early 1900s and came back. So we have this knowledge that you can pull from here. Protect yourself. You are your protector, right? You know your body best. So then it's just sitting on burden with this pink passion. So I would say there's something that you really enjoy. These are just the little things in life, right? So our coffee, our special coffee, you know, maybe we love chocolate, you know, maybe we have a sweet tooth, it is a cupcake, you know, maybe we enjoy drinking socially. So I feel like this is a sort of more of an indulgence, a temptation that we know that we shouldn't do as often that we're doing, right? Because it's a burden on the body. So probably doesn't make the body feel too good. Maybe you get a sore stomach afterwards. But you feel like, oh, it's worth it because you love it so much, right? The pink. So something that you love a lot is kind of the burden on your body here. So if you can change your perspective, gather some willpower, right? Your intuition here, gather some willpower, make this quick change, quick and easy change of eliminating that. Oh, okay, I'll go with this one first, since they pulled me back to it after I knocked it. So sitting on brilliance, so this is just intelligence. This is an ongoing cycle, a recurrent cycle, a bad habit. I was just coming off of the indulgence here. So the indulgence is the burden on the body. So pushing yourself too hard in the gym, right? Like I said, eating more than your share, right? So overwhelming your physical system that way. So it is a reoccurring choice that you're making. And it's also on brilliance, so they're shining a light. The angels are shining a light on this. You're intelligent. You know that you can overcome this. On clairvoyance, destiny, intuition color here, we have the turning of a new leaf, so your willpower. So when you were a child, you probably had stronger willpower to move forward for something, right? Returning to play. If you couldn't play that sport, you were probably like, okay, that's fine, I'll try a different one instead. Or I'll go play over here instead. You know, the swing set's busy, so I'll hit the slide. You know, the pool is full, so I'll go for, I'll go bike on the trail, right? So there's an ease to the playfulness, an ease to the decision making. You know, don't be so hard on yourself. Like the ease here, right? You're really focused in, and then you're sitting here with ease. You're looking back, you're standing with confidence and ease. Sitting on trades here, we have my heart of manifestations. So I don't know if, like as a profession, you're in the trade, so that's difficult on the body. There's a lot of bending, lifting, standing for hours in a position. I'm getting everything but like a desk job, right? That's what I'm getting here. If you do have more of the white collar office job, then trades would be what you're doing at home. So if you're out in your yard, so heavy labor, doing yard work, home projects, renovation. So again, anything where I feel like you're doing standing, heavy lifting, pulling, pushing repetitively, or just standing but not walking for a long period of time. And that's also kind of impacting you here. It's part of the spider web. It's all interwoven here, right? We know it. Everything kind of plays a role in the overall health of our body. So movement, what we're indulging in, the bad choices we know we shouldn't make, but we keep making them, and then the type of work that we're doing, the type of repetitive, laborious work that we're doing. I'm going to come up here first. So sitting on kind of etiquette, the gold, sort of divine wisdom, angelic wisdom. Then we have your intuitive knowledge, so you and your soul, you and your angels working together through a reading like a past life trip or your dreams. And then we have health, and we've already been talking kind of health, and we have this closing of the gap. So you are definitely someone who is very in tune with your body. You're very likely someone, not just because you're here at this reading, but you're very likely someone who is just more spiritually aware and attuned as well. Just like open-minded, I should say, open-minded, more considerate, right? Just kind of the pace you're going at here in terms of closing the gap. And with the word etiquette, just it's like you know what you're doing wrong. You know you can overcome it. You know you've done it before. Obviously in this past life you did, and they want you to help you change your perspective and go back to that place of thinking that you're able to, for the quick change here, right? You're able to kind of pull yourself out of it, right? We had the yo-yo up here, the in it and out of it, in it and out of it. Okay. And then on gunpowder, so I'm really just reading gunpowder as like the starting gun, right? Over here at the Olympics, like the bang, right? The starting you all off from your starting line here, right? Get off and running. And so the foot here, the sandal, on top of the sandal, it has the abundance. And when I get the sort of bunch of grapes here, the bundle of grapes here, this is health and good wealth, nourishment, happiness, joy. So for an outcome, this is where you're headed, right? You're gonna win the race here. The angels are sounding the gun. They're snapping they're heading you off here. They're encouraging you to take off and run, right? Like the cheetah. It's a quick change. This habit, this bad choice, returning to being more active, your self-esteem and enjoying and loving who you are now, right? It's all going to come out as you begin to just track things, start to be kinder to yourself and meet new people, focus less on the past. That's really a strong message here. Stop looking back. Okay. As I say, stop looking back, you look right back, right? You're turning your head, and now you've looked back again, because it's like you think there's more hidden from you, or there's something you still desire, that more youthful body as she's kind of bathing in the moonlight here. Moonlight for me is wishes. So coming back to that wishful thinking. So you need to release this. You definitely need to let go, looking at the past, wishing for that older version of you, because it didn't serve you back then. Probably didn't serve you in your childhood, if this was your childhood. Maybe you spent a lot of time obsessing about your body or fitness or being out there trying to be the best, right? Trying to be the champion instead of just playing on the team, right? Just doing your best. Feeling your best, doing your best, and not pushing you too hard. That's the aha, right? You gotta release all that, let all that go. Leave all that behind, say bye. She's kind of doing that Italian motion, right? Where you're just like, "Ay, get out of my face." I don't know what I just know that means like go away, right? So you telling your past, like, go away. Get rid of these old thoughts, old way of thinking, not serving you at all. right? Change your perspective. Right back to where we started here. So, better relationship with your body health, body image, and just return to activity here. Return to movement. Yes, you can. Yes, you will. And yeah, it's okay. Everybody yo-yos. But in order to be successful and feel good and have everything that you need, want, live in today, stop looking back. You know, our bodies age. We're never gonna be like we were 5-10 years ago. We may be better than we were, right? That's possible, but not exactly the same. Okay. And group 3. So if you were not drawn to this card, I'll see you at our next past life trip. All right. So group 3, you tuned into this card in terms of your relationship issue. We're going to use your deck of cards with cards, but let's start off here with the charm. Let's see where we're going. I will say this is the smallest handful of charms from each of the groups so far. Okay, there was movement here on the blue bubble, so we'll just hang out, okay? Oh. Guess I should stay on the blue bubble longer. So we'll see where your relationship issue is going. If you were drawn to group 1 at all, I can let you know is relationship with money, with wealth, kind of the home lifestyle story. Second group we just came from was relationship with self, body image, aches and pains, so overall health. So we'll see if this group might be relationship with others or a specific person maybe. That seems to be a more popular topic, right, in our minds. Don't worry, I'll do a cleanup. Just seeing what else wants to come out, if anything. Okay. Okay. Just flip that around. Okay. Yeah, okay, it's this one. Let's get your cards. Get the full story here. Get the added advice. Okay, this one's not getting out of my way. Oh, I just got a nice gentle breeze. That was nice. Just trying to associate them here how they want. These all landed over here. So. Okay. Sneak them. There we go. I could also just move the plant out of the way, couldn't I? All right. Interesting read. So let's see where we're going here. Okay, I'm just going to take the timestamp for everyone that joins us now, and it also helps me tune in to figure out here the charms. I know obviously we're going to start hearing the cards, but I get a feeling here of the charms. We might be starting here and kind of going counterclockwise for whatever reason here. Might be because you're the last group for this trip. So naturally, usually angels make me feel like we're kind of winding down. So as we kind of travel the clock backwards here, we're kind of also closing up the portal, but we're also traveling backwards in the sense of your trip here, right? Okay, so we're going to start with your card, the main card, and then we'll find out why those 3 cards wanted to go on top of it. Well, look at that. We're basically heading into a past life. Lots of eyes on you. So this is definitely going to be the group that's coming in with a relationship issue related to relationship with others or a specific person, with just the amount of eyes on you, and then or a specific person. So this is my people's relationship group. So maybe that's why we need the 3 cards over here, because there's lots of different types of relationships with other people. So maybe this is gonna break down for us. Ugh. Why am I fussing so much with you guys? There we go. Okay. So what are the 3 companion cards? Okay. All right. So we are definitely splitting the group up here, or the angels are trying to let you know that this reading is for you. It's going to be collective messaging, but you should be able to interpret it for your specific scenario. So for scenario 1, I have issue with someone in your household. That's the relationship issue. So not necessarily a partner. This could be a child, or maybe a dependent, right? A parent maybe that you're taking care of. Maybe you have multi-generations in your household, but there's someone specific in your household that is your relationship issue. This card here, for whatever reason, it's kind of drawing me down to this section here. So I do want to say that this is more of I want to say like a sexual relationship. So either you're dating or it's a fling, could be an affair, but it does not feel like a committed relationship. And I say that because my ring here, just the way it's woven, it does remind me of my charm. That's about reoccurring negative choices or bad choices that are not serving you well. So this could be unrequited love as well, if it's just a heated, passionate relationship. So not much there. It's just surface level. Like I said, just sexual or surface level relationship, and maybe you're having an issue moving past that, or maybe you're having an issue ending the reoccurring decision. And then last group, I want to say that this is a loss. So your issue, your relationship issue, isn't necessarily with another person physically, but maybe it's the grief that you're sitting in, the loss that you're struggling with now. That's your relationship issue, is your grief. Maybe you're just struggling with grief or struggling to move on. Maybe you feel lost sometimes, right? We feel, depending on where you're at in your stages of grief. So someone in your home, someone you physically dwell with or see often enough, because we also live at work, right? So it could be a colleague. But I do feel more just home space, to be honest. Second group, just unrequited love, sexual, heated connection. And then the third group, part of the collective messaging here, is a loss. So this is sort of the relationship with others group. Okay. Where do you want to start? So I'm going to start with the now charm. Well, okay. No, I'll start with the year, so we know where we're traveling back here. So we're all the way back to our 1st century here. So the year 1 to 100 AD. So right at the beginning here, And we're coming back for some clarity. That's what the hole in the charm. So clarity, information, obviously. So maybe clarity as to why you're experiencing this struggle now, this relationship issue now, so that you can have balance. So return you to balance. So we're going to go all the way back to 1 to 100 AD to get you some balance. And so there's some discovery here waiting for you. So now in this reading, but also information, clarity, discovery now in your waking life. This is alluding to you finding something out, right? Shedding light on the darkness. So you will get the clarity, you will get the confirmation, you will get the intuitive insight that you need. So insight coming, insight coming. Okay. So with the insight, it is going to lead to a choice. It did in your past life as well. Most clarity, most receipt of new information does lead us to a choice, right? With more info, we're able to make a more informed decision that's for our betterment. So this is like continue on, find new, right? It could be that. It could be insights and tips and tricks on how to move through the stages of grief, right? So that you're feeling whole. It's okay to live in your emotions. That's also a decision. I'm just going to cry it all out today and feel better tomorrow, right? So clarity is leading to a decision here. Clarity could also be, I don't know, I'll just stick with if you lost someone. Your relationship is because you lost someone. This could be you receiving something, weeks, months later that you weren't expecting, or maybe a similar experience that I just had with my mother. We were cleaning out something in the basement, and we thought a container was just full of some random books, but under the top layer of books there was some family memorabilia that we weren't even aware of. So the discovery led to like laughter and joy and reminiscing about that person, right? It was in a really beautiful spot. So new information, and we had the choice to kind of go through the box, or we could have just tossed it out, but we went through the box and and lived in the happiness and enjoy the memories of the discovery, right? Something we discovered. So I don't know if my mom will be drawn to this card when she watches the video, but could be. Now, here we have the knowledge, right? So you got your insight, right? You got your piece of information that you felt you were lacking. And then look at you with your treasure trove and something new, right? And you're protected, you're focused. You're like, no, I know exactly what I'm going to do, and I know exactly what I want. So if this is let's say it's this relationship, unrequited love relationship, or maybe you uncovered an affair. We know that's been in the news lately with the CEO, right? So that made you remember your value, the kind of relationship that you want, and you're ready to attract in that partner, right? I'm going to fill my world up here with the things that I like, that serve me best, and I'm going to cut you out. Those are all the swords, right? Cut out anything that's not serving you. So discovery of knowledge that's going to lead and encourage you to make a choice. In this past life, you made a choice, and the choice you made was putting yourself first. Always should be. We struggle with that, humankind, for whatever reason, but that should always be your decision. When it's not to the harm of others, I'll caveat with that. Obviously, when it's for your best interest without harming others. Okay. on maps, so direction, and we have direction here as well. So we have maps, so location, could be travel. We have this balance. I Love Soccer charm is all about you having balance, you feeling balanced, you not feeling pushed and pulled, right? In and out of emotions, grieving, in and out of hot and cold, lust-filled feelings or relationship, fighting in and out of fights at home, right? Dealing with, I don't know, maybe you're dealing with a teenager going through growing pains and sort of the frustrations that go with you wanting and wishing they could understand or see something a certain way, right? Shedding the light here on the darkness. So finding your inner peace, your balance again with maps, a location. So I don't know if there's somewhere that is your like zen, if there's a class you take because it's soccer, if just going for a walk, going to the gym, if there's a space, a location that you can like mark as yours, even if it's in your home, if it's the backyard, or whatever it is, there's this encouragement to kind of find your space. Find your space in this relationship, right? Find your space to grieve. Find your space in the home. Maybe they're just all overwhelming you. Okay. So we know we're already in the relationship issues reading. We have troubled relationship, and it's a love relationship. It's centered on the heart here. But there is favorable outcome. You just need to change perspective on it with this charm. But there is abundance waiting for you. It can be nourished, right? If you voice what you want, you could maybe change this bad decision into the next step. You don't know what they're thinking. Maybe they're equally as shy as you to move to the next step. Change your perspective, your approach on the fighting in the home, or maybe revisit the house rules at this time based on their age or who they are. Sometimes we just need to look at the layout of the home and maybe be willing to change up rooms or floors. Maybe grandma living in the basement needs to be on the main floor, so let's put her on the main floor and we'll take over the basement, and that alleviates the tensions, right? The issues. So change in perspective, similar to group 2 is change in perspective here, shedding the light on something. Okay. So what I like about this card here is they're really showing me how there's more than one approach, right? You can come at the tree from this side or this side. You can come under it. So I feel like very much what I was just sharing with you. Stop leaning into what's frustrating you. Stop repeating a decision. Stop being harmful to self in our thoughts. Kind of kicking yourself or sitting in the state of the ifs, right? The what ifs. So kind of ending that and just coming at it from different perspectives, different approaches, trying something new and seeing the success, right? Takes a few steps, but you're going to get there. You're going to get there. There's your abundance, your peace. There is nature here in sort of this landscape, so maybe you just need to travel. Maybe you've been itching to travel. It could just be a car ride could alleviate it. Just hopping in the car and either feeling the breeze, maybe that's why I felt that nice breeze, or having some music playing can shake you out of this, right? Can help you focus and think. Focus and think. What's my solution? And in this past life, back in this early period, I mean, obviously we didn't have as much buildings as we have now, so you very much would have been kind of out in the open. You may actually have been forced to try something a new way, right? If your vegetation wasn't growing as a farmer, if it just wasn't raining, try something else, try something new, different. Okay. So sitting on the Black Death, which is the ending to something, we have the paw repeating, right? The hand, the paw, so stop this. So they do want you to put an end to this, end to the repeating cycle, end to the fighting at home, right? The arguments, whether it's arguments in silence, right? This could be someone squirreling away, literally, and slamming the door. Putting an end to saying the what ifs, wish you were still around. They're still around you, but this is, your time now to move forward. So kind of ending those cycles, putting burying the hatchet, as they say. So sitting on university, but pointing towards motorized travel, and we have maps down here. So university, so that's knowledge, wisdom, heading towards movement, travel, getting away. So again, we got the sense of getting away. Maybe it's just distance you need, right? Distance from that individual, finding your own place, like I was saying, if you go to a class or something. Distance from this person so that you can get the clarity that you need, the time, the peace that you need to see what's happening, so you can make your decision what's next. Maybe you need travel or time away, just a period of grief. Maybe you haven't been allowed to grieve yet, and that's your issue. Like, go away. Have your weekend to yourself. This wine charm is all about direction. Go where the wind blows you. So any which way. University, your knowledge, your intuition, your mind, your heart's telling you that will benefit you. That's going to help bring about this change. So we have divine order on intuition. This is fated. So this is a relationship issue you did not successfully, I would say, conquer in this past, right? Look at all the eyes. This is probably a situation that's probably a reoccurring for multiple lifetimes. We are all the way back at 1 to 100 AD. Look at all the eyes. Look at all the times you may have had unrequited love, the number of times you fought in the household, the number of times you've lived where you were the one that outlived. You were the widow, you were the survivor. With the necktie, this is not speaking your needs, not speaking up, right? Holding your tongue. So again, those quiet fights, you're unresolving it. You're just walking away and not resolving it. In terms of grief, this is aches and pains. But this is also being like choked up, right? Unable to speak. And your challenge to you is to speak up this time. Talk to others. Let people know that you're going through a loss. Maybe you haven't even told people, right? Maybe you're hiding it. So don't hide it. Don't hide it. Don't hide it. What do you need? What do you want to say? Put yourself first. The decision. What do you need? End the cycle that you're going through. Choose strength. So they're pulling me down here. Strength and endurance, right? Strength and endurance. I choose strength. It's going to take time. It's going to take willpower. But you can get over this. You can get through this. You will get through this. It is possible. I'm just pausing because I'm asking what this discovery, this aha moment is. I don't know if it's just this reading giving you the aha moment of, I just need to change my perspective, or, take a breather, right? Put some distance or take a trip. I don't know if that's enough of an aha moment. Maybe it's in the next two cards here. But there is this beautiful, you've got what it takes, you can do this. You can make this change, you can speak up, you'll find the right words. You'll know exactly where you need to go. You'll be able to end whatever you need to end and find the closure. You have the strength and the willpower and the perseverance needed. Look at the universal judgment here, right? Look at the angels ringing the bell. Whenever they ring the bell, that's congratulations. The time is now. We're back to now. You can do this. The rabbit, when I see a rabbit, that's information. That's also time. So the rabbit's also coming to tell you that the time is now to either repair, right? Repair and resolve, come together with this connection or with others and let them know that you're grieving. Or it's the time to separate, right? To end it so that everyone finds peace, right? An ending for you is equally as peaceful and healing as an ending for that other person, right? It's never healthy to be with or in something that you're not happy. If you're not truly happy, then they aren't either. Or it's not good for them at least. Okay. So you are able to bring this together in this lifetime. Time is now for you to conquer this soul lesson, or your soul lesson is to separate. But it is a choice, right? It is a choice. Okay, lastly, we have the Great Divide. So either you're currently in a Great Divide or you're about to create some space. But here's your knowledge. Here's that wisdom that we were seeking. Here's that discovery, that aha moment. The aha moment that comes in is going to have significant impact. That's what the Great Divide is. It's going to have profound impact on you. It's going to push you in the right direction. And then sitting on independence, but this is also blue for emotion. So I'm going to tie independence to your emotion. So how you uniquely feel is wealthy, happy, joyful, abundant, opulent, free, back to self. That's what this wine barrel is. It's the whole barrel. It's not just the bushel. Look, when you change your perspective, change your approach, you're spilling over here. Spilling over with new connections, new love, a better love, the next milestone in your relationship, right? A more happier time together. Okay, look at you smiling. Smiling, breathing, right? Fresh air. The breeze could flow right through your ribs here. All the stars, which are all like wishes and dreams. So everything kind of happening, coming true, and the fire's gone. The fire's way down here, right? You've kind of put it out. You've conquered. You've overcame. I just like the smiling. However, you know, you're still wearing the blindfold here. You haven't made the decision yet. You got to make your decision. So this is your possible outcome. My bat charm has changed perspective. So are you going to follow this path? We have a magic 8 ball. We have your soul looking at you. So the choice is yours. The opportunity is yours to grab it. Grab it this lifetime. Conquer it. You've got this. You have the knowledge. You have what it takes. You have the willpower, the perseverance. And whether this reading gave you the clarity or you're about to receive just a little nugget, just a little bit of clarity you're about to receive. Like I said, my mom and I just pulled out a box and there was memorabilia in it. A little bit of clarity, you know. You might overhear your child speak to your partner and say something and you're like, now I get it. Why didn't they just say that to me that way, right? So clarity. With this relationship, you know, the clarity could just be you woke up one morning and you're like, no. You know, when I read that text, I didn't smile this time. I said no. So you're going to be able to do it. You are going to conquer it, right? You're standing here as the champion and you're closing this soul lesson off in your Akashic records here. You're going to be closing this. You have the opportunity to stand here and say, no, I made the decision to not walk into that again. And so you'll just turn around and walk away and head off to a brighter future. But like I said, you're not going to bring this forward to your next life if you choose to come back. Or you're still right now, you're in the moment of, you could still walk forward, you could repeat this again, you still could sit in this again, but I feel like you'll change your perspective. I feel like all of you will come out here as the champion soldier over there. You're going to end this cycle. No more repeating this specific relationship issue again. You know, you won't have this specific issue again in the home. You won't have this specific lust relationship dynamic again. You won't suffer through loss in this manner again, right? You'll have a better handle on everything for the rest of this lifetime and every lifetime coming up. So I'll see you all in our next trip.